Hello everyone, so welcome you all in our second recorded lecture. So in the last lecture we have seen minterm and maxterm. Today we'll go in detail of the minterm and maxterm. We'll talk about canonical form of sum of minterms, canonical form of product of maxterm, and we'll talk about standard sum of product and standard product of sums. Then we'll talk about some very important things, that is how to check that particular expression or particular design is optimized or not. So what are different parameters to check that design is optimized or not? So these things we'll discuss in today's lecture. So let's start with the minterm and maxterm, right? So we have seen in the last lecture, so suppose we have a function, that is function of a comma b comma c, right? So let me draw a truth table for this a, b and c. So it will be 0 0 0, then 0 0 1, then 0 1 0, then 0 1 1, then 1 0 0, then 1 0 1, then 1 1 0, and then 1 1 1. So if you write in the form of number, it will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Now if I will write the minterm for corresponding inputs, then the minterm will be, so you already know minterm, if 0 is there then it's a complemented value, if 1 is there then it's a normal value. So what will be the minterm here, and it will be in the dot. So a bar dot b bar dot c bar. Then if you write for this, it will be a bar dot b bar dot c. If you write for this, it will be a bar dot b dot c bar, right? Similarly you can write for others as well, a bar dot b dot c, and so on. Now if you will write the maxterm for corresponding inputs, then you will take, if 0 is there then it will be normal value, if 1 is there then it will be complemented, and in case of dot it will be plus. So it will be a plus b plus c. Here it will be a plus b plus c bar, because this is 1. So 1 is there, then you will get the complemented value. Here you will get a plus b bar plus c. Here you will get a plus b bar plus c bar. So in that way you can write maxterm and so on, right? So now if you'll get any number, suppose I will say I will write minterm for 1. So what will be the minterm for 1? It will be a bar, b bar, c. And if you say what is the maxterm for 1, it will be a plus b plus c bar. So in that way you can represent in the form of minterm and maxterm, right? Now let us understand what is canonical sum of minterm, right? Here we are saying sum of minterms. This is really important to understand. So suppose I set my function f, which is function of a comma b comma c, and what it contains sum of minterms, and that is 0 1 3 and 5. Let's say I have a function where in these places 0 1 3 5 is 1, remain all other places it will be 0. So how will represent this function in the form of expression? So then our expression will be f equal to, you will write minterm for 0. So as we have already seen minterm for 0, it will be a bar dot b bar dot c bar plus minterm for 1. So it will be a bar dot b bar dot c. Then minterm for 3. So it will be a bar, b and c. Similarly, you will write minterm for 5. So it will be a dot b bar dot c. And this will become your canonical sum of minterm. This is known as canonical sum of minterm, and this is your expression. Getting clear? I think yes. Then there is a standard sum of product that we need to understand. So previously we have seen canonical sum of minterms. Let me write it. Canonical sum of minterms. Now here I am saying standard sum of products. So let us understand what is the difference between these two, right? So let me take one example. Suppose I am saying my function f is equal to summation of small m, and that is 0, 1, 2, 6, right? We have this function. So let me first write the canonical sum of minterm. So what will be the canonical sum of minterm? It will be, it's 0, so it will be a bar dot b bar dot c bar, plus 1, it will be a bar dot b bar dot c, plus what about 2, it will be a bar b c bar. What about 6? So it will be a bar, sorry, it will not be a bar, so it will be a, b and c bar. This particular expression is known as canonical sum of minterms. This is canonical sum of minterm. Now if you will optimize it, suppose I will apply the Boolean algebra and I will try to optimize it. Then what we can do, let me take these two together. So let me take different color. Let me take these two together, and can we take these two together? Yes, we can take. So let me take these two. So here a bar and b bar will be common, so you'll get c bar plus c, and in this place what is the common? It's b c bar is common, so you'll get a bar plus a over there. Now you already know this will cancel out and it will become 1. This will also cancel out, it will become 1. So what next we'll get? So we are using the formulation x plus x bar is equal to 1. So it will become a bar b bar plus b c bar. This is function f. Now there is no further optimization, so now this particular expression is known as sum of product, or in short it is known as SOP form. So you can see we have product and these product are summed together, so that's why it is known as sum of product. Getting? So similarly, any expression once you write in their standard form or full form, it is sum of minterms. Once you optimize it and make sure every term has product, then summation, then that is known as sum of product. Right? I hope it is clear till now. Okay, let's move to the canonical product of maxterm. Previously we have seen canonical sum of minterm. Now I am saying canonical product of maxterm. So let me take one example. Suppose your function is given f a comma b comma c. Now product is represented by this, and it is a maxterm, so capital M. Now I am saying I have 0, 1, 4 and 5. Now once you say product of maxterm, it is representing the places where your function will contain 0 as a output. Make sure it is representing 0 as a output, but sum of minterm is representing 1 as a output, right? So now if you represent in product of maxterm, how it will be represented? So your function will be, so here you have to represent this in the form of maxterm, so you'll get a plus b plus c. Now product, so we'll take dot, then 1, it will be a plus b plus c bar, Ready? Now what about 4? Yes, it's A bar plus B plus C. Now what about 5? 5 is 1, oh 1, so it will become A bar, yes, plus B plus C bar, right? So this is your canonical product of sum. Getting everyone? Cool, right? Now let's move forward. Let's talk about standard product of sum. So again, let me take one example. So okay, let me take the previous example so that we can easily understand. Function of A, B and C is equal to product of max term 0, 1, 2 and 6. Again I am telling you, whenever we talk about product, then product of sums or product of max term means we are talking about the places where the values are 0, right? Whenever we say sum of product, or you can say sum of min terms, then these numbers representing the places where values are 1, right? So now let's represent it into the first product of min term forms, product of max term form. So it will be f is equal to, what will be the product for this? It's A plus B plus C. Then you'll take dot. For 1, you already seen A plus B plus C bar. Then dot. What about 2? It will be A plus B bar plus C. And what about 6? Yes, A bar plus B bar plus C, right? Now what is this? This is your canonical product of max term. So this is your canonical product of max term, right? Now I want to optimize this, right? So in order to optimize, to make it more simpler, what I can do, I can take double complement of for the each circuit. So one way you will do multiplication of each of them and get the value. So in order to simplify it, what I do, I just take double complement of the entire circuit. So once you say double complement, actually it will nullify themselves. So here we have A plus B plus C dot A plus B plus C bar, then dot A plus B bar plus C dot A bar plus B bar plus C, right? Now I want to break first one. So this one, first I want to break this one. So once you break first one, what you will get, so second one will be on the top of it. Once you break the first one, you will get A dot B dot C and bar, all of them, plus, so we have used De Morgan's law, right? So A bar dot B bar dot C plus A bar dot B dot C bar plus A dot B dot C bar, right? Now let us optimize this entire circuit, then we will again break the top one, the top, this particular thing. So let us first optimize. So let me take these two together and these two together. So you can check out here, A bar B bar is common and you will get C plus C bar. So we'll say A bar B bar is common, here you will get C bar plus C plus, so definitely that bar is always there. If you, from the previous, this bar is there, plus what about this? You will take B bar, sorry, B dot C bar common. So B dot C bar common and you will get A bar plus A. So these two will be cancelled out. So what you will get? You will get bar of A bar dot B bar plus B C bar. Now let me break this bar. So you are using the De Morgan's law. So I will break this bar, and what I will get? I will get A plus B dot B bar plus C. And this expression is known as standard product of sum. This is your standard, so you can say standard product of sum, that is known as POS. Getting? So you are getting POS here. So I hope now everyone is clear about what is canonical product of maxterm and standard product of sum. Similarly, canonical sum of minterms and standard sum of product. Getting? So these are four different terminology to represent the circuit. Standard product of sum or standard sum of products are the minimization form, but canonical, when we say canonical product of minterms, canonical sum of minterms or canonical product of maxterm, means we are talking about the full length expression, where each place all three literals are there, all three variables, or you can say all three input combination are there, A B C, either direct normal form or complemented form, but all three should be there. Whenever they say four variable circuits, so or four should be there. So this is the way how you can represent them. I think it is clear till now, right? So let's look into this. So here, this is one example. This one is represented in the form of sum of product, where A dot B dot C, again this is dot then plus, dot then plus, right? So this is sum of product. What about this? This is product of sum, right? So here we have sums then product, sums then product. So that is product of sum. Sometimes we have some mixed design as well. So we have A dot B here, then plus C dot A plus C. So this is mixed, like product of sum and sum of product, both are mixed together, right? So different variety of designs we can see here. So once someone says sum of product form, then always we have to follow, we should have dots then plus, dots then plus, right? We should not have mix like this. This is the mixed design, right? So suppose I want to simplify this sum of product. So I think now you can simplify it. What is this for this expression? If you have given this, so this is known as minterm expression, or you can say canonical sum of minterm expression. Canonical sum of minterm expression. Now I want to simplify it, right? So if you want to simplify it, what you can do? Let me take these two together so that we can get A B bar common, and let me take these two together so that you can get A B common, right? So let me write it, A bar B bar C plus A B bar common, and here you will get C bar plus C, and here AB is common, what you will get? C plus C bar, right? So you know this will become 1, this will also become 1. So what we'll get? We'll get A bar B bar C plus A B bar plus AB, right? Now if you'll check here, can we get some optimization here? So if you take A common, what you will get? Let me write it here. So we will get A bar B bar C plus, if you will take A common, we will have V plus B bar, B bar. So then this will also become 1. Now look into this expression. Have you remembered the formulation that we have seen? X plus X bar Y is equal to X plus Y. Can we apply here? A plus A bar B C. So what will become it? A plus B bar C. So now you will get this final value, or you can say final minimized expression, and this is known as sum of product form. Now you can check in this expression how many literals. Literals means you just count how many variables are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Now how many literals here? 1 2 3. So we have from 15 literals that is available in min-term form. Now we are able to reduce them down in 3 literals, which is much simplified. Getting? So that's why we require simplification. Now if you represent both the functions, here output will remain same, but if one is in the min-term form and one is the SOP form. So which one is better? It is clearly visible. This one is much simpler than this, right? So it means if you can make your min-term form more simpler, it will come as a sum of product, right? So now let us talk about few criteria. What are different criteria for circuit optimization, right? So here we can say we have cost criterion. How to decide the cost of the circuit? So there are three different things that will decide the cost of circuit. So first is the literal cost. How many literals are there? So we have seen previously in min-term form we have 15 literals, but in case of sum of product we have 3 literals. So in terms of literals it is lesser, or you can say min-term was lesser optimized, or you can say SOP was more optimized, right? Similarly, there is a gate input cost where we will look into the only and or gate. How many inputs are available, or how many inputs are going to the AND gate and OR gate separately. Means AND gate and OR gate you will mix. Once you add with the NOT gate inputs as well, then that is known as GN. So G is AND OR gate, or you can say any other gate. So mostly if you say your circuit is represented by AND or NOT, then you can say AND OR gate input will go as a G, and once you club AND OR input with NOT gate as well, then it is known as GN. That is the simplest form. So we'll take few examples, then it will be more clear, right? So suppose, let's say here, so how many literals are there? You can simply count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we have total literals 8. Now what about this circuit? We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Total literals are 11. What about this circuit? We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 literals, right? So which solution is better? If they are looking for same, you can say same expression, if their outputs are same, then in that case you can say this is the most optimized circuit. Getting? So this is the way how you will count the literals. Now let us count other variables as well, other things as well, right? So here how many literals in this expression? If you look into this expression, 1 2 3 4 5. So literals are 5. Now let's look into the gate count. As I told you, gate count means you are talking about only and OR gate counts, right? So how many and OR gate counts? You can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So that's why gate count is 7. Now if you say GN means these gate counts will be there along with the NOT gate count. So how many NOT gate? 1 and 2. So and this is always there. So G plus 2 you will get 9 as a GN. So in that way you can compute literal count, gate input count, and gate input count with NOTs as well, right? So add you inverter gate count. So L, G and N. And based on that we can decide which particular circuit is more optimized. So let's take this example. So how many literals first of all? Yes, you can count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So how many literals we have? 8 literals. Now let me say how many gate count is there. You can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and 8 will become for the till AND gate. Now what about OR gate? 3 input for the OR gate as well. Getting? So how many gate count in that case? Yes. So we have you let me draw the circuit, then might be it will much easier for you. So we have one AND gate where B and D as input, right? Then we have another AND gate where A is the first input, NOT of B is the second input, let me make the NOT, and C is the third input, right? Now we have third AND gate where we have A as input. So let me take A as input, right? Then we have C complement as input. So let me take NOT gate here, C complement as input, and we require D complement as well. So let me take it from here. Okay. So sorry, I need complement of that. I didn't add the complement here. So let me add the complement. So okay, let me take it here so that it will be much easier to take it. Okay, now we have to OR all of them. So we are putting them all together and put it a OR gate, and this is your final output. You can say F. Now let us count. So literal we can easily count from here. Now let's count the gate input. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Along with this 8 9 10 and 11. So how many gate counts? We have 11 gate counts. Now what about Gn? You have to add 11 plus how many knots? 1 knot, 2 knot and 3 knot. So you will get 3. So it will be 14 Gn. So based on that you can calculate literals, you can calculate G, you can calculate G, right? So in that way you can compute the value for L, G and Gn of any circuit, right? Similarly, let's look into here. So let us take this example first. So we have A, B, C plus A bar, B bar, C bar. So how many L for this? So what is the value of L? It's a 6. N, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about G? So you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can say here and 2 value in off gate. So you will get 8. And what about Gn? It is 11 because 3 NOT gate will be added here. Now let's look into the circuit here. A plus C bar dot B bar plus C dot A bar plus B. So you have taken 2, 2, 2, then 3 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9. So you'll get G equal to 9.
Your phone has no data connection, so what?
So literal 6, G is 9, and what about not? 9 plus 1, 2, 3. So it will be 12. So you can say we are using the same function, same literal cost, but the first circuit is better. Why it is better? Because it has lesser number of gate inputs and lesser number of Gn value, right? So you will select this one. This is more optimized. So in that way you can select which one is the more optimized circuit, right? Now let's say I want to simplify this. So first of all, how it is given? It is given in the form of min terms. So let's write the function for this. So let me say f is equal to 2. So let me write it to 0, 0, 1, 0. So how will write? A bar dot B bar dot C dot D bar. What about 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. So you can say A bar dot B bar dot C dot D plus 6, 0, 1, 1, 0. So you can say A bar dot B dot C dot D bar. What about 7? Similarly, you can say A bar dot B dot C dot D. What about 10? 1, 0, 1, 0. So it will be A dot B bar dot C dot D bar. Now what about 11? It will be 1, 0, 1, 1. So you can say A dot p bar dot c dot d. Right, so in that way you will get the entire expression. Now I want to simplify. So let's start the simplification process. So here you can take a bar, b bar, c common with these two. So let me directly take this, and what we'll get from here, a bar, b bar, c plus, can we do something here? A bar bc is common, yes. So you'll take from these two expressions, you'll take a bar bc. Is there something here? Can we take some common? A b bar c. So you'll take a b bar c from here. So a b bar c. Now we come up with three different values. Now is there any optimization further? Can we apply some law here? Can we see? So a bar c, right? So we can apply further here. So we'll get a bar c from here. B plus b bar will be gone. Plus a b bar c. Now can we take c common? Yes. So you'll get a bar plus a b bar. Can we do something here? Have you remember x plus x bar y? Then you have x plus y. So it will be c a bar plus b bar. So ultimately if you club them together, so you'll get a bar c plus b bar c. This is the simplified version of this expression. So now if you have given in the minterm, so you can say what is this? This is canonical form of sum of minterms that we have written. And what we have got from here, this is standard SOP form. Getting everyone? This is standard SOP form. Okay, cool. So you got this idea here. So ultimately what we have seen from this entire story. So we can minimize the function. Now few problems we have seen. First problem that we have seen, when we stop. So why we want to look into that? If you have very complex circuit and if you try to do it manually, it's very difficult. So means ultimately you have to write a code for this. You have to write a program for this that can optimize your circuit. Manually you cannot make more complex optimization. So there should be some procedure that you can apply and compute it compute the optimized function. So when we will stop, there is no fixed way like when we can stop. Now second, when we apply those Boolean algebra, what should be the order of application? Means what, in which order you will apply those Boolean algebra so that you will get the minimum function. That is also not predefined. Means these two are the major problem. First, when you will stop, when you feel okay, no further reduction is possible. Second, what order? Because suppose you apply in different order, maybe your optimized function will be different. So these are the two major challenge, right? So we'll see how to solve this challenge into the next lecture using K-map methods. So in the next lecture, we'll talk about the K-maps. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So let me summarize it again. What we have done today, we have talked about minterm and maxterm. We talk about sum of product of sum, canonical form of sum of minterms, canonical form of product of maxterm. Then we talk about how to find out the cost of the circuit in terms of literals, in terms of gate input, in terms of gate input with NOTs, right? And then we have done few exercises to optimize the circuit, right? So in the next lecture, we'll talk about the K-maps. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day and happy Holi.